Hi, I recently attended the Ofcom Spectrum Engineer Graduate Assessment Center. In the end, I was not successful, but I had really positive experience and I was in the waiting list. In this video, I will walk through three stages they really assess and where I performed well and where I could improve. First stage was the behavioral and technical interview. It was one-to-one and it lasted around 50 to 1 hour. So, and this is very structured. Ofcom is really structured. They have set questions for everyone, and everybody got one-to-one interview in a room. And I could bring my notes and also water if I needed, but I did not need. I mean, it is for safety preparation, so that I feel relaxed. They are really super helpful. And the senior engineer interviewed me where they asked about the Ofcom, the spectrum, why I am interested, how my skill aligns, those types of things, teamwork. And they expect all the question will be elaborated. If I don't ever have the personal experience, they expect me to make up some example. What they want, my example and answer will be elaborated. That thing they expect. My interview was pretty well from the feedback I learned, and the technical part they gave me some data. There are some missing part I needed to analyze, and I need to find out how I'll fill up those data, how can I clean up this data. They expect those types of knowledge from me. And also analyze what they wanted to get information from that data. Also, they give me some scenario, basically some office scenario, home based, some remote. So what kind of technology I should use, 5G or Wi-Fi, or 3G or 2G, and why I should. In that scenario, I was not that expert, but I used my common sense and my basic knowledge of spectrum. I had some knowledge. I did some research. I was expecting they would expect some knowledge from spectrum because it's the spectrum engineering role. So I answered pretty well. This section was good for me. I did pretty well in this section. The next stage was, this section was last 50 minutes to 1 hour. So yeah, the next section they gave some little short break, and they gave me 30 to 40 minutes to prepare for presentation. In the presentation, they gave a bunch of printed paper, where there are lots of data, and I needed to present in 5 minutes. For non-technical person, leadership team, the summary, what the problems, what causing the problem, these types of presentation. My presentation was good from the feedback I've learned. After presentation, there were a question and answer part, and this group was 3 engineers. There were 3 engineers in this group, question and answering and presentation task. In that part, I was really caught up. They don't expect surface level knowledge. They expect in-depth knowledge in spectrum. I was not aware, and I did not have that knowledge. As a software engineering student, I were not expert in spectrum. They expected me to get the information about how spectrum works, what are the inference problem, other problem, and these types of. So in my scenario, there were some inference issues in the crowded area, like Kennedy Wharf. What could be the issue, how I could solve these issues. These types of knowledge they expect me to have it. To be honest, I did not have I explained surface level. I told it could be for the population, tall building. Yeah, the engineer is super helpful. The senior engineer, he really tried to help me, but at the end I could not answer enough good enough. And there were some scenario about the satellite. In my scenario case, what are the effect of satellite, where I should put those satellite, and how can I minimize the effect to the general people. So basically what I would say, they expect you have the in-depth knowledge of the spectrum, the effect, inference, how it works, behave, how the spectrum, different spectrum works. I mean, satellite works in different way, 5G works in different way, 4G, 2G, but and each have the different uses, and they expect everything in depth. I was not aware, and I did not perform this part well, so I caught up in this part. And the last part, the stage 3, was the group presentation. They divided the groups in 3 or 4 people or 5 people. In my group, we were 4 people. So there were a problem. They describe a problem, and the source were, there are 4 sources. We needed to identify the one source which was causing the problem, inference problem. So in that task, initially I initiated the task, and we divided the time, and we kept some slot for the discussion, which was good. So from the feedback, what I found, my leadership skill was good. They don't expect we get the right solution, but they expect the good communication, teamwork, leadership, and how we work through in this process. They observe those things. In this task, there are a couple of 5-6 people who are in the group. They're observing. They just keep writing note how everybody interact, and yeah. And then we could not find this solution, exact solution, but from feedback they said my leadership skill was good, but my teamwork I could do better. Maybe they expected more collaboration, more discussion in the team to get this solution. It could be better. So yeah, this is the experience. I had a really positive experience. They gave me, I will feedback. They phoned me, they told me the detailed feedback. I'm really grateful. I had a really good experience. Yeah, thank you guys. I hope you will get better preparation and you'll get this place. Thank you. Bye.